What's up guys, Sekapoko here, bringing you another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. For this we'll be going over the brand new event that has just dropped on the Japanese version for the Germa 66 Skull event. I don't know why we're calling it Skull Island. I don't really know what we're calling it. I'm probably going to call it Skull Island. I'll call it Germa Skull Island or some bullshit. But we're going to go over my multiple team guide for this, and we're going to go over all the fun stuff along with it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the teams. So we're going to be going in on the Germa 66 island, and this place is really fucking annoying. With the Judge Batch team, it's actually fairly simple, but outside of the Judge team, it starts to get kind of annoying. And making a lot of different teams for it was pretty fun today. So going into this, we're going to have a bunch of different stages that are going to be a little tricky, and one of the two things you can do is, the first of which is bringing a team that's going to be using a lot of Psi Orbs and using that effectively, and or a team that's using a lot of meat orbs, tandem orbs, etc. We're finding a way to get around the damage so you don't actually have to use orbs, so you can use like Enel, etc. There's a lot of other ways. And one of the big things here is you have to make sure that you're going to be okay going up into stage 3, stage 5, stage 6, and stage 7. Now I know it's kind of like there's a lot of shit going on here, but it's actually pretty complicated. So if you guys are having a little bit of trouble with this, don't feel bad. This is actually a very difficult place, and a lot of people were very much struggling with this, and don't feel bad if you are as well. So stage 3, going into stage 3, we're going to have Niji and Yonji. Niji is going to have a preemptive that's going to come up with a 99 turn int, strength, and quick negative orb beneficial enable right as you enter the room. Now, one of the ways to get around this is you can bring a positive beneficial orb enabler special, and it allows you to get around this ability completely. It's a really nice way of getting around it. You don't really have to try for the rest of the place, and I do this with a couple different teams today. So I hope you guys enjoy that strategy. It's actually one of the older strategies that we use in the game, and it makes it really easy to get through that stage. Going into stage 5, that's where things start getting a little bit more tricky. We're going to have Reiju and Ichiji. The preemptive here is we're going to get Ichiji is going to silence all of us for 3 turns. I should have mentioned that. And then Reiju is also going to paralyze us for 4 turns. Poison us for 99 turns. It's going to be 500 damage per unit. So just know that if you're going to be popping Reiju, you should pop Reiju right here just to make sure that you can get rid of that annoying debuff. So what I do is I pop the Reiju, and then I start doing damage with my Judge, and then I start doing damage on everybody else in the room. Now the reason you want to pop Reiju first is because when you go into the next room with stage 6, we're going to have Judge and 3 fodder units, and the thing that's going to happen right away is that you're going to have 2 random sailors bound for 6 turns. And we're going to want to pop a Judge special to get rid of the 6 turn bind placed on 2 random sailors, and then we're going to go ahead and just go all in on Judge. Now it's okay to attack with Ichiji here, so just know you're okay to attack with him. And you do more than enough damage with the orbs, so just if you get screwed on orbs, it's okay. You might be okay. I mean, 4.3 million damage. Now the 2 things that happen here, the first thing is he's getting this all block orbs, which is kind of annoying. And the second thing he's going to do, which is even more annoying, is give us a 99 turn orb boost, which is super fucking annoying because now you have to use an orb boost there. Otherwise, if you don't use an orb boost to kill Judge, then you're going to get a 99 turn orb boost on this room. On the Judge stage here, what we're going to do is we're going to pop Judge initially to get our specials, and then we're going to go ahead and pop Niji in order to lock all of our orbs for 1 turn, and then we're going to start damage on the Judge and then just kill the rest of the room. Now Judge only has 3.2 million HP, not a ton of HP, so you can pretty much monster through him without any issue whatsoever. The thing is, you can pop Ichiji and Niji here. I recommend not, because it's just, you don't have enough damage for other shit. So here we go. Here we go. Got a little bit of damage in, and then Judd's going to go ahead and pop his special. It's going to remove all of our buffs. And since we already have the matching orbs here, what we're going to do is then we're going to go ahead and pop our Yonji special and our Ichiji special in order to get our delayed attack boost, as well as getting our delay and chain lock off. Because right away on the revive, he's going to give, on Judge's revive, he's going to wipe all of our specials, and then just on turn 2, anytime, regardless, or turn 1, anytime if he's going to give us a chain coefficient decrease, Turn 3, so next turn he's going to blow away 1 random movement and remove all buffs and repeat every single turn. And then below 20% HP, he is going to not do anything, but Ichiji, Niji, Yonji, and Reiju all do something. So just got to watch out for those guys, otherwise it's totally fine. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start up over here. Bam. 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 And bam. So with the German 66 squad, really easy, not difficult at all to do. Everybody's really tailored for this, so you don't have any issues whatsoever. There are a couple different ways of doing this with the German squad. That's my favorite way of doing it because it is the most consistent and going in that specific attack order because it's really fucking easy to go that way. But there are different ways of doing it, so if you do want to do it a different way, let me know how you want to do it. I will see you guys in the next team. So for the next team we're going to be running, it's going to be a Gear 4 team with version 2 Doflamingo. The replaceable units, of course, are going to be Shigi, version 2 Aokiji, and Nami. Those are going to be basically here for damage, so if you do have another character you want to bring for damage, that would be perfectly fine. Just bring whoever you think is going to be best suited for the damage characters. Now, the version 2 Doflamingo is kind of a required unit for this specific setup for Gear 4 Luffy, and I do have another Gear 4 Luffy team coming up, so just know that there are other options. Now, the main purpose of this team on turn 2, before you go into the third room, is you're going to be popping Gear 4 Luffy in order to get the beneficial Orb Enable up. And the reason you want to pop that on turn 2, because it'll carry into room 3 and cancel out completely the buff that you would get from the turn 3 boss on Niji and Yonji. The rest of it, you're basically just going to be doing damage, and there's not much to it. You're going to be bursting hard on stage 6. Use the version 2 Doflamingo special on turn 7 in order to clear all the Germas. You don't have to do a ton of damage. You just got to do about 500,000 total overkill just to do enough damage to the Germas, and you'll be perfectly fine. Next team of the day is going to be a version 2 Doflamingo and Judge team. And this team is basically a team where I was like, you know what, since I was using version 2 Doflamingo already, I might as well try to figure out a team that I can put together that's a driven team that can also work on this set of content. Now, what's really interesting about this team is that there's a lot of different versions of this team that you can run. It's not just set in stone. There's a lot of replacements you can use in this team, a lot of different kinds of teams that you can use, and I'm actually curious to see what a lot of people end up putting out. Now the big thing that you gotta know about this team is that you're gonna need some kind of orb boost and type boost, so Treasure Mode Cavendish might work out for you. It really just depends. You need some kind of character that's gonna manipulate block orbs. That's why I got Pika here. You need a character that's gonna do overkill damage. You need some excess damage, etc. So there's a lot of things that you could need here that really might help you out in order to clear out this boss. So Treasure Mode Cavendish is a good pick if you did want to go for damage. I'm not sure if he's going to work. Then you need somebody to manipulate block orbs. I don't have a ton of units that I can think of off the top of my head that manipulate block orbs on a driven team, but there is a whole database that you can look through. Shiki is the only one that comes to mind. Then we got, if you do want to use Shiki instead of Treble, that might actually get you the damage and give you the orb manipulate you need. So you can pop Shiki instead of Treble and then have a Sugar there as the bottom, so you can get your orb boost as well as multiple turns of matching orbs, so that it would actually get you a little bit more damage. It might be more efficient, not really sure there. Then for the Pika, you can take him completely out on that version of the team. Big thing is you don't want to do... You want to bring too many characters that are redundant. You want to bring characters that are going to fill with your team, flow with your team, and do well. The Zoro is actually a perfect example where you're going to get color affinity on your team, get a little bit extra damage. You can bring an int-driven chain locker. I don't think that exists, actually. Does it? For a driven unit, I'm not really sure who you're going to bring, but you could bring a lot of different kinds of units. Not 100% sure on who you would bring, but there are a lot of units to bring if you did want to bring a driven int unit. Just try to bring the best possible character you can think of. Now, you want a character that hits hard enough to be able to kill Judge, so just make sure that it does have a decent amount of attack. Now, don't think that you're going to be able to get full HP, so don't even try to bring the Coliseum Diamante. You could bring Coliseum Shiryu if you wanted to get rid of the poison. You could bring Charlotte Amon to get a 50% HP cut or a 20% HP cut. My personal opinion is Charlotte Amon is probably the best unit you can bring here, and I didn't think about her until later on, especially because she has that 20% HP cut and removes a barrier. If you were looking for the absolute best unit, Charlotte Amon is the absolute best unit here. Removing that barrier on the final boss, as well as allowing that Doffy to go through everything, and she's driven, fucking phenomenal. Definitely bring Charlotte Amon if you have her. If not, there are other ways of doing it, as you can see here. That's why I brought this particular team.
The seasons turn and change just like your mind. Like the sun gives into the moon, into the night.
The next team we're going to be running today is going to be a version 2 Aokiji team, and this team relies on two specific units. The first one, of course, Charlotte Amon, awesome unit, perfect unit for this content, love her. And the second unit is going to be version 2 Doflamingo, I guess 3 units. The third unit we're going to be running here, and of course, it's going to be brand new. And the reason this team works is because initially on brand new on stage 2 is going to pop his special in order to give a positive beneficial orb enable in order to cancel out the beneficial orb enable that you get on stage 3. Then going into room 6, all you got to do is do your burst. It's real simple. You may have to reset. Now, the big cool unit I'm going to bring here is going to be Pudding. Pudding removes silence on herself. She also removes bind on her on the team for 3 turns, and does a 2.5 times chain lock. This allows you to get a nice little chain lock damage boost, as well as getting all the utility on that stage. Now, the big kind of annoyance here is that if your Pudding does get chain locked, or bound, just reset. It's kind of an annoying thing with anything that you're going to be using today. If you can get anything that's remove bind, if you use anything to remove the silence, and one of the characters randomly gets bound, it's RNG. There's nothing you can do about it, but you may have to reset with the Pudding. On stage 6, what you're really going to do is pop your version 2 Akainu special. Pop Pudding for the chain lock, do your damage, get the overkill, go ahead and go into the room, and then what you're going to do once you get into the final room, pop the tier 1 Charlotte Amon special, remove 1 turn of bind and get a 20% HP cut. Then you use a version 2 Doflamingo to just clear the entire room. This can do anywhere between 2.5 million to 4 million damage, depending on how much overkill you're doing, what rates you hit, etc. So just know that it's going to do way more than enough to kill the Judge. You shouldn't have any issue there for the initial kill on the Judge. On revive, you can pop V2 Akainu special or just hit 6 perfects and you're pretty much done. The next two teams we're going to run today are going to be a little bit slower, which is, you know, kind of annoying for some players, and they don't want to have like a slow team. They want to have fast teams, speed teams, whatever. But we're going to be running a double G4 team with Enel Sub, Shirahoshi, Charlotte Amond, and Jewelry Bonnie. And I'm going to be running this team for both of the next teams, except I'm going to be switching out the captain on the second run, except I'm not going to use G4. I'm going to use Magellan, which is actually kind of fun. And the premise of this team is basically stall out for Enel healing and get as much healing as you can in, and heal with your Bonnie along the way, as well as your Shirahoshi. Now, in my personal opinion, doing this with the Gear 4 versus using it with the Magellan is a little bit easier, because the Tier 3 Gear 4, or using Gear 3 special on Gear 4 Luffy, wow, that's so confusing, allows you to have a no times multiplier, which allows you to stall very easily on whatever you want while just trying to get meat orbs, etc. It makes your life a lot easier for stall. Personally, that's my go-to there, but you'll be able to see the difference in the stall between both teams. Now, you also kind of need to get Charlotte Amon special all the way up to max if you want to use her, because Judge is about 3.2 million, and you need to get a 50% HP cutoff in order to get everything done. So it does take 37 turns with this team, and if I did have Charlotte Amon maxed, it would probably take a lot less, probably around 33 turns, I think, 33 turns. That's because we have to use the Shirahoshi special twice in order to get enough healing to do this. Now, Charlotte Amon max versus not max is kind of annoying, but you know, if you're running out of options and you don't have a lot to use, this is one particular team that you could use in order to get the damage to clear this. So this is another option, another way of clearing it, and there might be a more efficient way to use this team. I just got pressed for time, and of course, you know, we do this on the first night that this comes out. We don't have everything done already, so this is the best we can do on the first try. And finally, of course, here we are with the Magellan team, and this Magellan team is a little bit weird because the HP cut that you have every single turn is a little bit annoying for the stall. However, you are able to get a decent amount of damage, and I was actually very surprised with the amount of damage that you have on this team and amount of healing you get, etc. And one of the biggest things to note is on stage 6, there is a funny little bug that's on Magellan, as well as Shirahoshi, Ivankov, etc. And this bug revolves around the healing per turn buff. And what this buff does, which is really funny, is if you have a healing per turn buff at the end of your turn and it's at 1 turn to go, it will heal you at the end of that turn. And then when you walk into the next room, it will heal you again. So you actually get 2 heals, which is kind of funny. It's a broken mechanic in the game that they still haven't fixed. It's been about a year. I don't know, not a year. It's been around for over a year, I think. So I don't think they have any intention in fixing this. I don't think it's going to go anytime soon. But it's a really funny bug that you can do with Magellan, Shirahoshi, and Volkov for any character that does have that. So just check it out. It's really funny. And with the team, the things that we had to deal with versus the Gear 4 team on this were pretty much the same. The only major issue was on stage 6. But like as you can see with the Magellan poison, it makes the stage kind of trivial, but the healing that you get from that buff is just really funny and get lots of healing. So you go into the final room, you don't have to worry about the poison as much. But if you were to worry about a stage, that would be the stage I would worry about. The HP cut that you're getting from Magellan plus the poison is more than enough to kill him on the first turn. But beyond that, the major issues that you're going to face are going to be on the final room. But you do have a lot of overhealing with Shirahoshi and a very short heal, but a very good heal on the Jewelry Bot. And for our bonus team of the day, we're going to be running a version 2 Aokiji team with rare recruit Sengoku, limited rare recruit, what's her name? Tashiki, Coliseum or Lumbus, and legendary Shirahoshi. Now my thought initially was, oh, on the final boss, I'll pop Shirahoshi, and then I'll use I'll use the Coliseum, what's his name? Fuckboy, what's his name? Coliseum or Lumbus to give me an orb boost on my strikers, which is most of the team anyways, right? And then I'm like, oh wait, that would be perfect. That would give me so much damage. And what actually happened was I took too much damage on the other stages, which caused way more problems than I was hoping for. So it would have worked had I not sucked absolute dick. But it does almost work in the end. Now, we do kill almost everybody in the entire stage, but we totally fuck up by missing a perfect. Now, I think this team could work. Maybe some tweaks, maybe some different units, I don't know. But potentially it could work. No idea what you would use, though. Now, the version 2 Aokiji special, this is like probably my 13th of the night, and I was like trying out a bunch of different ways of doing it, and I decided to just put it in the video because I figured you guys would like to see me going through and almost clearing it, just almost not clutching it, and enjoy a little outro trailers here. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the teams. Alright guys, well my name's Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you smack the like button down below as well as the subscribe button down below so we get lots of support in the channel and of course, keep the channel growing. If you guys do want to get notifications on all my videos, make sure you guys hit the bell notification right next to it so you guys get notifications every time I drop a video. If you want to check out the last couple of videos, they're right at the bottom of the screen. You want to check out the you want to subscribe to the channel right at the top right, and you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Peace.